Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about thumbnails, which is honestly the most important thing that you could learn how to do. And the reason is because when a person looks at your thumbnail, that's when they're going to decide if they want to click on the video. And that's called the click-through rate. And if they don't click on the video, then nothing else matters. Nothing. Okay, so that's how important it is. The thumbnail has to be good in order for them to click on the video, in order for them to even see the video. And of course, the title is important too. All right, but let's talk about thumbnails for a second. Okay, so we are inside of TubeMagic right now, which is Matt's platform, as we've already talked about in other videos in this playlist. And if you haven't seen that already, you definitely want to watch the entire playlist. You'll see it in the description below because this is all part of a process, okay? So anyway, the thumbnails. So this is super cool because you can build professional thumbnails now inside of Matt's software. And this is such a time saver and it's just so cool. So anyway, so you click on it here and we're going to call this the CapCut sample. That's what I've pretty much been calling it this whole time. And you can put a video link here if you want to, or you can just go to text right here, or you can just click on YouTube video context and you can just give it a description. So I'm going to say, give me a thumbnail for a CapCut editing video. Show me a man at a computer editing a video and smiling. Okay, so let's just see what it does. So I'm going to click on generate, and right now it's generating, and it really doesn't take very long. You would think that it would, but it doesn't. It just takes a few minutes. And then it gives me 3 choices. So like I've got this one, this one, this one, or this one. Okay, so this is amazing. All right, I like this one. So we're going to go with that one. The background looks good. We're going to leave that alone. And then right here, we're going to say CapCut. We're just going to say CapCut editing, okay? And so now I can click on this and move it if I want to. And so what we want to do is we want to work with this text and make sure that it shows up really good. So it shows up the best right here. But if you notice, we can bold it. I don't know why it changed to a different font, but okay, there we go. Okay, so it's bolded as Roboto. And if we want to, we can make it larger, which we definitely want to do that because the larger the better. Now, we don't want it all the way over here in the bottom right corner because that's where all of the timing is going to be, so we don't want that. We can change the color though if we want to. We can make it yellow, green, bright blue, dark blue, so you just want to move it around until you get it looking the way that you want it to look. And then this is where you can set a border, which makes a big difference. So I want to do like, let me try the green border because I'm just thinking that one might work really well. But first I have to move this right here to adjust the size of it. Change it to green. And I also want you to remember that at the time of this recording, this is new. So we're in the beta stages of this. And Matt's going to be improving it as time goes on. So it's going to just get better and better. But what I want to do is I want to move this and put editing here. And then I'm going to highlight both of them and center them so that they're centered together. And then move it to over here where I can make it bigger. Now you're probably thinking that doesn't show up very well, and you would be correct. And so how can we fix that? And so I know that there is a way that you can upload or add like an opaque image to put behind the text so it will show up better. But to be honest with you, I can't figure out how to do that right now. So what I'm going to do is what I've been doing is I'm going to save the project like it is. I'm going to download the image because it's still a great place to get the images. And then what I do is I come over here to AAA logo and then I upload it here because this is just what I know how to do. Okay. So I upload it here and then I come up here and create the text here. So I'm going to put cap cut first, and then I'm going to enlarge it like that. I'm going to come over here and choose a color. So I'm going to go with that, get rid of the reflection, and then I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to put CapCut editor like that. And now I know how to operate this software. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a square right here, and then I'm going to make sure it covers all of the text, and then I'm going to click to unlock it and just lengthen it, put the width right about here, make sure it's completely behind the text. So it needs to do a little bit more, like that. And then I'm going to move this, click on the word and put bring to front. And then I can put this back, and now that is behind it like that. And it still needs to be just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to enlarge the whole thing just a little bit, about like that. Move it over or move it up some maybe to about right here, and then move the text. And then I'm going to click on this and change the color to black. And then I'm going to make it kind of opaque in the background, or reduce the opacity is probably the right way to say it, so that it shows up, but you can also still see the background. All right, and now I'm going to duplicate that and bring it down here to this other word. But again, I have to put the word in the front. So bring it to the front and then put this here like this. And I'm going to make it not quite so wide to about right here. And now you can see it a lot better. And honestly, when you make it smaller, that red is probably not going to show up as much as I would like for it to. So I could still go back in here and change this red color and make it lighter, or even just go with like a solid white right here by clicking on solid and then going to white. Honestly, I think that's going to show up better. So it might not look as pretty in some places, but the main thing is that it shows up. So I'm going to do the same thing here, make that white. And then if I wanted to, I could change the stroke right here and make it maybe something a little bit more bright like that if I wanted to. But actually it's not going to show up quite good enough, so I want to darken it a little. And then I'm going to copy that color And then I'm going to come back over here to this one and change that stroke color as well. All right, so now let me make this actual image a little bit bigger because I don't like the way that font is so close to him and his face. And then if I want to, I can take this and make it a little bit smaller in the background just to make it fit a little bit better. And then that one's okay. All right, so that is how you can make a thumbnail. But I'm not the thumbnail expert, okay? So I want you to know that. And you can change this color too of this background if you want to. You can copy this color. Unfortunately, AAA Logo doesn't have a color picker, but if you come back over here, I've got a color picker on my browser and I can pick a color right here. So like say if I wanted to change that to that purple color, I could do that. I could grab that color and then come back here, go back to this background right here and change it to that purple color like that. And see, that looks good, but it needs to be a little darker. So let me darken it some more, but it just gives it a little bit more color. And I can do the same thing to this one because I've copied the code. So I'll just go put the code right here. And there you have it. Now I can just save it to my desktop, CapCut thumbnail. And if you get off of here and get out of here, there's the thumbnail right there. And I just need to adjust the size a little bit. And I have my ping files going to Paint right now. And I have my JPEGs going to Irfan View editors. So if I want to adjust the size, I can click on this right here, go to Pixels, and it needs to be 1280 by 720. So I'm going to unlock it and change this to 720. And now it's the right size. And so I'm going to save that. And if I want to see what it looks like, I look at it in Irfan View, my JPEG creator, and I can see it better. And that's what it looks like right there. So that came out really good. I really like it a lot. But that's because I used Matt's software. Now, I'm going to do another video and show you how to do this in Canva, because you can do it in Canva instead. And so I want to give you the option, all right, in case you're not ready to get Matt's software, to where you can do it in Canva as well. So I'll see you in that next video.